Hello, welcome to a new era of the podcast. We are back. We are in person here. We are in a studio. I have built a public access podcasting studio in the bunker, and we are going to be the maiden voyagers of the podcast. Bryon, this is weird.
This is very weird.
I was telling Claire last night, we've been doing this show. We are 640 some odd episodes in.
I'm going to tell you right now. 642. This is our 643
third episode,
yeah.
And I've never been more nervous to do a podcast.
Why?
I did not sleep well last night. I was very nervous to do this.
Really?
I don't know why. I have no idea why. I was telling Claire, she's like, why are you nervous? You've done over 600 of these.
Why? Because
You've
we're
been
back?
best friends with Bryon forever. You talk to him all the time.
Yeah.
I'm like, I think it's just because we're doing it in front of cameras and we're doing it in lights and it's like an actual thing.
Yeah,
This is weird.
This is weird.
I know you're going to stare at the TV all day.
I'm not.
That's going to be your first
Nope.
problem.
I'm going to be very professional. I want the show to be nice.
It's only taken 640 shows, and now we're going to try to make it nice.
Well,
Thank you, everyone, for tuning in.
when we do audio, we're slobs, but
Yes.
video is a little bit different.
This
So,
is like the next progression, the next
next step, the evolution.
evolution. Thank you.
Of
Good
our
word
show.
usage of the show.
Yeah, and I don't want
Started
to
out as
screw it up.
audio in the bunker.
Started as on radio, Mark.
Yeah, but in the
This is like the radio days without.
this is like
the
the radio days.
remember?
Hopefully, less flatulence.
Yeah, when I saw this table and these mics,
Yeah, doesn't it? I thought that too.
I just need an audio board right here, and that
Yeah.
was us.
And it's also weird because you're not able to control anything,
Thank God.
which is not usual for you. I know usually you have an audio board or
When we
something.
did it in the bunker, I had the audio board.
Yeah, even when we were at the radio channel, you were in
Yeah.
charge of the board.
Zoom, I had nothing.
Zoom, well, that's Zoom.
Yeah.
But here, we've kindly asked Big Jake, as we call him, to come help us.
Yes.
He's been nice enough to come wake up early, which I know is tough for him. He's usually used to watching YouTube right now. So we're taking away from his Ruby watching. I'm assuming he's giving me the
Ruby.
inappropriate finger gesture right now.
I don't know what the Ruby is.
The guys at Red versus Blue, right? I'm looking in the window now, and Josh is nodding his head at me, yes.
Oh, okay.
The guys that do Red versus Blue have like a spin-off show?
Nobody
Or it's like
can
a whole
hear
different
him.
thing.
It's okay.
He's
It's
giving me hand gestures.
All
and
right.
I'm
All right.
yes, no's. So I'm going through that. We could turn into, this could progress where he could be the voice of God
No,
and he could talk to us.
I think it would be cool to have. You can have a little camera in there and a mic
Let's not get crazy.
as the producer.
We could turn a camera in there. We do have enough cameras. We do have robots.
And you can have a mic, and he
we
can
could
talk.
robot camera.
But let's worry about that another day.
Let's move. That's
Yeah,
a whole nother.
It's a whole other
That's a
thing.
Whole nother iteration of the show.
Right.
Adding in a third person.
This is our
We know how
first-
well that went when we added more people in.
Right. This is our first one. We're back in business.
We do. We have laptops now. I'm using my work laptop.
I'm
which
like my personal
Yeah.
laptop.
I don't have a personal laptop anymore. I used to, but now I got this.
Yeah,
so I
but you
don't
have
need
the
it.
tablet.
Yeah, I should probably bring a tablet in from now on. It was here. I'm at work, so I figured I'll just use this for today.
Okay. I like these fancy.
And we have cups of
we have
water.
cups. We should get cups with our logo on it.
We should. We'll work on that.
This would be cool.
Yeah. But we've kind of dressed up the set a
Oh,
little
that's
bit.
my camera. I got to remember it. This
yeah,
is
you're
my
over
camera.
there. I'm over there.
Okay. I don't want to look there.
And we have the main camera.
my camera. Okay.
That's the wide shot.
Wide
and we have a super wide, which is way over there, which we started off on the show as.
Yeah.
So yeah, and then we got robot cameras. We're gonna work those in down the road. I feel like Pat McAfee. I don't know if anyone knows. You don't know who that is because
No.
it's a sports reference.
Yeah.
But Pat McAfee was a punter for the Indianapolis Colts. He retired early. He left. See, we got another robot up there. Josh just had it on. But anyways, he had. You can see like a fancy. I have to cover that. No, just kidding. He was a punter for the Colts in NFL. Retired early. Left a bunch of money on the table. He was offered like a big money contract.
And he did podcasting.
And he decided to start his own podcast. He started off on Barstool Sports.
Oh, I know Barstool Sports.
And then just ended up moving to YouTube. And he does a show where we'll be airing this as well. He puts it on YouTube. And he started his own network. He's hired a bunch of his buddies. And now he's like huge. He's got like billion-dollar contracts. Like huge deals with FanDuel and everything. And he has his own channel on YouTube. And he has like a whole thing. So he's like
Well, this is
the impetus. Like we felt like we were slower on the uptake of doing this. But we're getting there. It took us a while, but we got there.
Yeah, we are. We have a YouTube channel.
Yeah,
and
we do.
This will bring a lot to that channel, having visuals.
Yeah. And then secondarily, not only is this a podcast studio, my hair, I got a haircut.
Don't worry about
I'm
it.
not a fan of it, and now I'm seeing myself in the camera. This podcast area that we're doing this show in is not just for us. If you're in the area and you live in the Enfield area, I don't know who listens to the show in this area, but if you do, you can come and use this. This is free to use. Anyone can come in and do it. You and a friend and another friend can put on a show. You can have your own podcast.
Nice.
Yeah. We're like trial running it to make sure everything works. Figured
Cool.
that was the easiest way to do it. Since we have a show, figured why not try it out with us, and then if anything goes wrong, we can, if it messes up, we can fix it.
Right,
So,
right. Now, we have been doing on Zoom for the last 2 years
Yes.
since the pandemic.
I will tell you, this is strange seeing you like in front of me as opposed to in a computer screen.
Really?
Yes.
I mean, it's cool. I
It
like
is.
this
It's
much
just-
better.
It's
I
been
might-
2
much
years.
better.
It's literally been since 2020.
Yes. Yes.
That's crazy.
I know. But I think the pandemic allowed us to do Zoom, which people saw our faces.
Yes.
On the YouTube.
Unfortunately for them, but yes.
YouTube and Facebook,
Yes.
which was good. So this makes so much sense for us.
You know what we're doing? We're burying the lead, as they would say in the biz.
What?
This is the first show
I shaved.
sans beard.
Yes. Yes.
We had a whole planned skit, which we talked about last week. We recorded a whole video for it. Mm-hmm. And then you ruined it by
did.
not shaving your beard.
I did.
Until after we did the last show. Literally the day of.
Well, I did mention in the last show, life became a little hectic for me.
Yes.
And in all honesty, shaving my beard did take about 30 minutes.
Wow.
Because I wanted to do funny.
Well, you do your thing where you take photos of yourself and post them on Facebook and stuff. And
It's the only time I post on Facebook.
yes.
Other than
Literally
the
the only
show.
time you post on Facebook.
But it did take a half an hour. No joke. Going into the chin area with
Yeah.
my razor, with an electric razor, it was like cutting down a forest. It was just like, oh shit, how far does this go? Like, where is my chin?
Yeah.
So it took me a few days. Allison loved it. She was so happy.
And now how is she feeling that you're letting it regrow again already? Is she telling you to keep up with it? Keep it
Yes.
trimmed?
Yes. I'm already kind of shaping it. Every couple of days, I'm just trying to shape
No,
it.
I mean, like, does she want you clean shaven completely?
She likes it clean shaved.
I think you should just keep shaving it then.
No, I just want a little hair. I just want a little, like, about 2 more weeks worth, and then I'll
Like
kind
a
of
short beard like I got, like a thin beard.
Yeah, thin, short. Yeah.
Looks good. I will tell you, when I first saw you when you came to the door, you look like an old Nick,
Okay, who?
your brother. It's the older version of your brother. That's all you look like.
Yeah, Nick or Anthony. Me and Anthony.
Well, more Nick than Anthony.
Yeah.
Are you looking at yourself in the reflection of your laptop?
Of my phone. Yeah.
That's awkward. This is weird.
I'm just checking me out there. Like,
Having this cup of water is pretty cool. I like this. I feel very professional.
wait. We get sip it together. I ran out of water, but it's okay.
Already? We haven't barely even started the show.
I'm a heavy drinker, Mark.
Heavy drinker. I like the water.
I like
not
the
driving.
juice. I'm not driving.
Actually, you are.
I should start bringing my seltzers with me.
Oh, boy. No, let's not do that. Then you get gassy.
No, I don't. It's just seltzers. I don't. All right, Mark.
Brian.
So we got this all out of the way.
We have.
Sorry, off the rails. We should talk about what we normally talk about is how was your week.
Yes.
I got a few things to talk about.
Okay, well, then you go first.
All right.
And then forget about me, and then we'll move on to the next thing.
No, we will go to you afterwards. We went to the markets this Sunday. Was the
At the
last
mall?
one at the mall. It was pretty packed. We checked it out. A lot of the same vendors we've already seen. I hope they do it again. And then I found out that the markets in Springfield are officially closed.
Yes, I know the why. I talked to Bill about it. I ran into him. I didn't run into him. I went to his store on Saturday when I got my haircut. It's right next to his shop. So while I was waiting in line, I just popped over to his shop, and he was there. Chatted with him. The Big Y owns the building where the shops are.
Yeah.
and they needed warehouse space because that store they're renovating. They're doing all the stores en masse. They're renovating all of them.
Oh.
So as a way to save time at the store, instead of like a lot of stores do, they have like trailers brought in to put stock and stuff so they can rotate things. They're like, we have this building we own right next door. We're just leasing out to this guy on weekends.
So they took it. Huh.
They booted him out.
Wow.
And it kind of ran its course.
Right.
Kind of. So he was kind of ready to move on to something else.
If I had known, I would have went. But anyway, that's a shame. It's a good little place.
Yeah. So he's not sure if he's going to stay or like not stay there, but stay with the concept or move it somewhere else or reinvent it again and to do like the mall's doing, like the every once in a while thing.
Right. Well,
so
this weekend at the Enfield Mall,
yes,
I will say they're doing the home show.
Yes.
So the whole mall will be filled up with home show.
Yeah, I'm going to swing in there
services
probably Saturday before we do D&D and hang out with Matt Ryan for a bit before I come over.
Oh, Matt Ryan's going to be there?
Yeah, he's going to be there drawing.
Because in the Macy's is going to be where all the crafters are.
Okay.
Which is interesting because there is no door to go to the mall at the Macy's because they plastered it up unless there's a door hidden somewhere.
It is. It's probably like, I know they did, it's not really a door or a wall. It's like they probably take that down. Like they did it at the Eastfield Mall when Bill originally had the markets in there. It was just like a sheetrock that they just put up in front of the sliding doors for the mall.
Yeah.
For the Macy's or whatever. And they just take it down and then they can just slide the doors open. It's like a removable wall. It's not like a permanent thing.
Well, they've done this before and the crafters were in Macy's. We were talking to someone and they did this last year. But that wall is still there. I don't know. We'll have to see how it goes.
See how it goes.
It's going to be Friday. I think it's going to be Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Just Saturday
or just
Sunday.
Saturday and Sunday.
Yeah.
Okay.
First and second.
All right. And it goes from like 10 to 5.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
So that's happening. That's kind of cool.
Yeah. So I was going to swing there before I was going to probably hang out with Matt on Saturday. Then we got D&D. So
yes. 3:00.
I know.
All right.
I'll be over there. I'm right around the corner.
All right. I will be going over Jeremy's around too to help set up as always. The latest episode of D&D, Bobby just posted it. Please listen to that.
And John's working on a video game.
Which is something we did a long time ago.
Yeah, the Lost Chapters.
Yeah.
First from the end of the old bunker game that we played.
That was a long time ago.
Yeah. So
that's when
something
Jeremy and you were not you. Jeremy and John were part of the podcast.
Yes, way back when. Yeah. Wow. Yes. Yeah, we used to wedge 4 people in a small room.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know how we did that.
Yeah. So if you hear it in the background, I will let people know. There is air conditioning here, and it does sometimes. I don't know if you can pick it up on the microphones or not, but if you do hear like a background hum noise, that's what that is. I forgot to turn it off.
All right, that's fine. I don't think anybody's...
Usually I turn it off when we do shows, so that way you don't have that problem.
So, Mark, for you, how was your week before we get into stuff?
It was a sort of quiet week, nothing crazy. We went over to Claire's dad's house on Saturday. They had a brunch for our niece's birthday. It was the first time I brunched at someone's house. I figured out. I've never brunched before.
Well,
so I didn't know the etiquette. I didn't know
it's right before lunch and breakfast.
Do you not dress up?
Casual.
Yeah. So.
Would you dress up like that?
Basically, I didn't wear this kind of shirt, but I wore like a t-shirt. But it was nice. It was fun.
What do you eat at brunch?
We had eggs and they had like a quiche.
So it's breakfast.
Yeah.
It's just
and they had
10 o'clock.
like a sausage, peppers, and potato hash kind of situation.
What time was it?
Like 11.
Okay. So it's
like a late breakfast.
Yeah. Early lunch. Yeah.
And I wasn't sure how the food was going to be, so I did pre-eat a little bit. Just to be sure, just to make sure I would actually have food in my stomach.
Why would you pre-eat before brunch?
Because I didn't know what the food situation was.
Well, Claire could have texted them.
We didn't want to be I don't want to be rude. So I
like,
didn't even say anything to Claire before she woke up. I just woke up and ate a little bit. I didn't have much. I had like a bowl of cereal and like a muffin.
You're the only on Thanksgiving. Do you pre-eat that?
No, because I know because Claire usually cooks, so I know what we're having. This I didn't know what we were having. We ended up having like a spinach and egg thing, which I wasn't going to eat because I don't like spinach.
Yeah.
And then like the sausage thing was kind of like chicken sausage, which isn't terrible, but meh.
Yeah.
Then just scrambled eggs.
What's wrong with scrambled eggs?
Nothing, but it's just,
So basically, you didn't eat anything.
I did. I ate that, and then I had like some toast and some bacon. But, I just didn't know what they were going to have, so I didn't want to like get there and not eat stuff. Because what happened was last time we went to her sister's house, they had corned beef.
I like corned beef.
And I hate corned beef with a passion.
Corned beef and hash.
It's disgusting.
I like it.
It's salty and gross. It's like meat that's been left on a boat for years and years. So I wasn't a big fan of that. But I tough it out and I eat it. But then I don't eat like enough food. And then like I get home and I'm hungry again. So I was trying to like turn that tide and pre-eat before.
All right. Other than your pre-gaming brunch, what else? Anything else? Did you watch anything? See anything of worth?
I did. I was gonna get to that. I'd finished the final season of His Dark Materials, the Will McAvoy show. That was very good. I guess they hinted at possibly there's more books in the series. I guess that this guy wrote.
Yes, but I think the show is canceled.
Well, yeah, but I guess they want to try the company because it's produced by the same guys that do Doctor Who. It's Bad Wolf Productions. It's the same production company that did this thing because it's actually a BBC show that they aired on HBO Max in the States. So I guess they're trying to see if maybe Disney will pick up the show, possibly, or somebody else to do the next series of the books. Series of the books.
Yeah.
Because in that last book just came out in 2019. I guess it takes place like further on in time. So, yeah. But it was really good. They did a really good job with it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
So, finished that. What else was I watching? Oh, Carnival Row ended. I watched the end of that. That was good. Orlando Bloom. Cara Delevingne, who I'm not a big fan of, but she's okay in this.
I don't know who that is.
She was the
bad guy in Suicide Squad.
Exactly.
Oh.
Yes.
I've never seen her in anything but that.
Yeah, exactly. She was also in another space movie, which wasn't very well received.
That was based on a French comic book.
Yes.
I can't think of the name.
Matt was very excited about it, but then it wasn't good.
It bombed.
Yes.
It was a big old bomb.
Yes. We'll talk about more bombs in just a bit, so stay tuned. But yeah. So I had that, and then just the usual stuff. Mando. It's kind of a quiet time. Not much going on show-wise right now. Just kind of Claire's going to be going back to work on Monday.
Wow. Very exciting.
Kind of getting geared up for that. Kind of get everything back in the flow of things.
Get back to your life.
Trying to get back to doing things again. So yeah. Looking into possibly buying a new car for myself.
Wow.
Because mine's old. I've had it for a long, long time. It has way over 100,000 miles on it now. It's starting to show its age.
You could sell it to your brother.
No, he's got a car. He's all figured out. He's actually was going to get his permit this last week.
We just had a conversation. Nobody knows about him, but yes.
Yeah.
Off air, we did talk about that.
So
very exciting.
It's in the works. As they say.
I know. I hope it. I want to celebrate when he gets that.
I know. I think everyone's gonna celebrate when he gets that. But anyways, it's gonna be like that scene from. It's really gonna be that scene from Good Will Hunting. I'm gonna come to the door and you're not gonna be there, and I'm gonna be very happy.
Yeah.
But yeah, besides that, just usual stuff. Nothing crazy. But let's move on to the news. There's a lot of news.
Well, I have I'm going to have a segment called Bryan's 5-second movie review for movies I've seen that you haven't.
Okay.
Just because.
Okay.
You want to time me? No, 10 seconds. Ready?
5's pretty quick.
In your head, count to 10.
Okay.
All right. Here we go. And 1, 2. Wait, let me get my. You count me in because I can't do that.
All right. Here, I'll even intro it for you. Now it's time for Bryan's movies Mark hasn't seen.
And I'm going to talk to this camera.
That's what your job would be. And here it is, Bryan's review of the movie 65, starring Adam Driver. In 3, 2.
All right, the movie 65, Adam Driver. Great science fiction movie. I would wait to watch it on streaming for free. It was good, not great, It wasn't horrible. It was just good.
And there's Brian's just about 10-second movie review
There you go.
that of movies Mark hasn't seen yet.
Oh, and it's very derivative. There you go.
I mean, it seemed like one of those movies where if you've seen the trailer, you've seen the movie. Adam Driver's flying a ship with people on it. The ship gets hit by a meteor.
Keep going.
Ship crashes.
Keep going.
There's a girl that he finds.
Keep going.
And then craziness. He's back in time to 65 million BC, and there's dinosaurs. And he has to kill the dinosaurs and find a way off the planet, or decide to stay on the planet. Either way, I do not care.
Get off the planet. The dinosaurs are actually really well done for a
It seemed
smaller
like they're just like
budget movie.
leftover special effects from Jurassic Park that they just like, oh, we got these leftover CG stuff from Jurassic Park we got to
The
use.
dinosaurs weren't that bad. It was actually that. It kind of reminded me of going when you're a kid, you'd read those science fiction magazines or
Yeah,
comics.
choose your own adventure kind of stuff.
It's very much in that line.
Yeah. Hey, it's a paycheck.
And then I did finish.
It's one of those. It also reminded me. Then I saw the trailer. I was like, oh, this is one of those movies that he had to do because he wanted to make something else, but they wouldn't give him the money for it. So he's like, I'll make this movie, and you guys give me the money to make this movie.
That's not how acting works, Mark.
It does sometimes.
That's how directors work.
But that's how producing works.
He's
sometimes.
not a producer, though.
But he wants the money for a movie like a pet project. A lot of actors do that. There's like a whole website about it
Usually
somewhere.
directors do that. They'll make
But
the
actors
big
do it too.
movie so they can get the funds to make a smaller movie.
But even actors do that as well. Like if they have a movie, they really have like, they really want to get it
He was
produced
good
or
in
done.
the movie.
They'll like, I'll do this other movie if you get me money, or let me do
they
this
all
other
get
movie.
money, I guess. They get paid.
But it's one of those things.
Well, anyway.
But anyways.
I mean, he was great in it.
I'll watch it when it's on streaming.
Yeah. I did finish.
Speaking of movies, I'll watch when they're on streaming.
Yeah. Well, hold on.
Oh.
I did finish Party Down season 2.
We're in the middle of it. We just
And
got past the episode we talked about last time.
and now I know why a season I was amazed that season 3 didn't happen when it happened.
They got canceled.
Yes, but it ended in a way you were like, "Oh, god damn it."
Yeah.
So now season 3 I'm going to go for the 7 free day trial for Stars. The show is great. It's outdated when it comes to some of its humor.
Yes.
A lot of gay jokes.
Yes.
And sometimes they like
Which is crazy because it wasn't that long ago that show was on.
2009.
Yeah, that's not that long ago.
It's a long time ago.
Well, 10 years isn't that long ago, if you think about it.
It's more than 10 years, Mark.
Well, I know, roughly 10 years.
Okay, 2009 to 19, that's 10.
Oh, yeah.
20,
yeah.
21, 22, 23, 15 years ago.
Yeah, that is a long time then.
And using, I'm very happy that we're in a time where, like crapping on someone's sexuality isn't the butt of a joke anymore. But sometimes that show toes the line. It is funny, and it's produced by very funny people, and there's very funny people in it.
Yeah.
And Jane Lynch is gay.
Yes.
And then there is an episode where someone does pick on her for, or make some gay jokes, and they stick up for her.
Yeah.
And so you could tell, like, they use the gay jokes as some punchlines. Some of them fall flat.
Yeah.
Some of them, you're like, oh, that was funny, but
We also got to just take into account that it was in 2009.
yes. I'm interested to see.
I mean, if you watch
what
even
they
older
do.
shows like MASH and stuff like that, you
Right.
get, like there's some jokes like, whew,
I'm
wow.
interested to see what they do for season 3.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's still a great show. Still
Yeah.
very funny. I love the cast. I love seeing everybody who was part of that show. So,
Yeah.
I haven't watched season 3. I'll wait
Yeah.
until you start watching season 3 so we can talk about it together.
Okay. Unfortunately, Lizzie Kaplan's not in season 3 because she was doing that Fleischman show.
That's fine.
So,
That's fine.
And she's like one of the reasons why I got into watching the show again.
Doing the show?
Watching the show.
Yes, exactly. Yes, she's amazing.
Yes.
But I'm glad. I think Megan Mullally's in season 3, and she is my favorite.
And so is Jane Lynch.
She's back.
Yeah.
I mean, almost the whole cast
yeah.
is back.
And the only person that's not is Lizzie Kaplan.
That's fine.
Yeah. As far as I know.
But she could have a cameo.
I don't. From what I understand, she's not in it all.
Ah, well, that's a shame.
Yeah, because she was doing the Fleischman show.
Yeah.
So she couldn't get away.
All right. Anyway, we will talk about that. Let me know when you get there, because
Okay.
yeah,
we're about halfway through season 2.
all right.
It's not like one of those shows we watch like religiously. It's like when there's nothing else to watch. Like, oh, let's watch that Party Down show.
I love you watched the Gutenberg episode?
We're at that one right now. That's
Did you
the next
watch
one
it?
we got to watch.
Gutenberg episode was a good one.
Yeah.
Was a good one.
Yeah.
All right, the news, Marcus.
The news.
Okay.
To the box office we go.
Shazam.
Shazam led the box office this past weekend, hauling in $30.5 million.
It was a box office bomb.
Well, it's the leading one for this weekend.
Yes, because there's nothing else out.
But that was the domestic. So that's one thing.
It didn't make...
Coming in well below the opening of its first film, which took in $53 million. It took in $35 million at the foreign box office for an opening weekend of $65.
It's very low. Very
Yes.
low compared to Shazam 1.
Yes. That's globally off a $125 million budget. Second place this week was Scream 6 with $17.5 million for a new domestic total of $76.02 million. It's taken in about $40 million overseas for a global total of $116 million.
Well, are you going to give us the whole countdown here? What do you do?
Well, let's go through like the top 5.
Okay.
Creed 3 came in third. Fourth place went to 65 with a $5.8 million for a new domestic total of $22.4 million. It's taken a total of $38.8 million total, including the foreign viewing. And then rounding out the top 5, Ant-Man and Wasp, Quantumania rounded out the top 5 with $4.07 million to bring its domestic total to $205.83 million. Internationally, it's taken in a total of $256.8 million for a global total of $462.63 million. That's a lot of quantums.
It is.
The wide release this week, of course, which everyone I'm sure is excited for, including Bryon, John Wick Chapter 4.
Yes. Very.
I've never seen one John Wick movie.
I'm going next Friday.
Yeah.
Dude, you're missing out.
I don't have any
What's going to hurt? You watch the first one.
desire to see any of the John Wick
Some
movies.
of the best action you'll see on the screen.
I've heard it's a lot of action, not a lot of substance.
No, it's got a little bit of everything.
Yeah.
It is probably, if you like action
I think
movies,
I saw like a tiny clip when the first one came out because like the whole basis of the story was they killed the guy's dog or something and then he just went nuts and started killing everybody.
there's a little bit more to that.
But I don't
It's
know.
fantastic.
Yeah.
We watched it at home, me and Allison, and we were both like, oh my God, this movie's amazing.
Yeah. They're on like USA like all the time.
Amazing movies.
I see ads for them constantly.
I mean,
when I'm watching
honestly,
sports and stuff.
I think this month alone has been a very great month for cinema, for movies.
This month's been a great year for cinema.
It's been one of the best out of the whole since 2020.
It's only the third month of the year.
Yeah, it's been a great.
So that's scary.
Dungeons and Dragons, fantastic.
Well, Dungeons & Dragons, here's the thing with Dungeons & Dragons. Dungeons & Dragons technically has not even come out yet.
Comes out Friday, which is still part of the month.
Yeah, but I'm saying, so it really is not, like, it's only been aired in theaters for one day.
Yeah.
For one showing.
But in my opinion, it was fantastic.
And I was telling you this before we started the show. It's been very strange to see, like, still seeing trailers and ads, and then saw, like, yesterday on YouTube, the final trailer for Dungeons & Dragons. I'm like, I saw that movie 2 weeks ago now. It's crazy.
Yeah, but
It really throws off my game because we have like a whole review of the movie that we want to do, but we have to like save it till next week.
yes,
And by then I'm going to forget most of it.
yes,
So I'm going to have to go see it again.
I want to see it again. Probably my favorite movie of the month, honestly.
It was really good.
Yeah, I loved it.
Yeah.
But I'm very excited for John Wick 4, and I guess the pre-sales and the numbers it's going to do this weekend, they're talking about potentially doing John Wick 5, which I have no complaints there. And the critics' reviews have said this is the best. And generally, when you get the fourth one in a series, it generally doesn't elevate. It usually goes down, but the quality's gone up.
Yeah.
And John Wick's amazing. I mean, it's just a great action genre movie. So I'm excited for it.
Yeah.
And then, you mentioned Creed 3.
Yes.
We can...
Well, there's some other news of stuff that's being renewed.
What?
That I don't know if you've heard about yet. I know a show that my sisters are a huge fan of, A League of Their Own, got renewed for a second season and possibly the final season.
You totally turned the show. You could have waited till we got into we were talking about the box office.
Well, no, but it's all the same thing.
Screeching halts. It's like this. We're talking about the box office. Here's
other stuff that's being reviewed. It's all in the same vein. It's all like news. It's not like it has to be the same vein.
Well, Creed 3 was in the box office. I wanted to touch upon
we'll talk about
that.
Creed 3 because it's a bigger topic than just a quick little news bits. That's a deeper topic we have to go into.
Sort of. All right.
Yeah.
All right.
Another show that was renewed that just came out, renewed for a second season, Wednesday, on Netflix. Have you watched that yet?
No, I have no interest.
It's really good. You would like
I don't have Netflix, and I have no interest.
Oh, that's right. You're a non-Netflixer now.
Yeah. I have zero interest in that show. I'm not.
All right.
It's not like I think it's bad or anything. I just don't care.
All right.
I will get Netflix when the Umbrella Academy season 4 drops, and then I'm just gonna watch the whole thing. The whole thing.
Do it all.
Yeah, and I think that's coming out this year. The final season's coming out.
I'm pretty sure.
There's really nothing else on Netflix for me.
Until Stranger Things comes out again.
Yes, that is honestly the one thing I get excited about. So when Stranger Things comes back, I'll get Netflix for the month, watch Umbrella Academy, cancel it, and just wait for Stranger Things.
Season 4 so it'll be season 5 for Umbrella Academy?
Yeah, it's the final season. No, it's season 4. They already did season 3.
Well, season 4 supposedly came out already.
You watched it. There's only 3 books. I think they only did 3 seasons. If I'm not wrong, if I'm wrong, I think the 4th season is its last. Just type in final season of Umbrella Academy.
Well, I typed in season 4 and it said it was coming out on June 2022. I'm like, that already happened.
That was last year. Then that was the 4th season, I guess.
Okay.
Maybe because the 4th season they had no material to go by. Oh, it was the lowest rated season because it had no material.
Yeah.
Because they already covered everything. So now they're on their own.
Yeah.
And we all know what happens when you do that.
Yeah.
It's never as good. Yeah. All right, so the 5th season, does this last then?
No. There was the 3rd season that came out.
What are you doing to me, Mark?
No, it's been very confusing.
Final season of Umbrella.
Season 4. Season 3 came out in June 2022.
Okay.
Yeah.
Jeez, my God, Mark. Okay.
Yeah.
Season 3, book 3
Yes.
of Umbrella Academy sucked.
Yes.
I hate to say it. It was not good.
It was not good.
I could barely follow it.
Yeah.
And listen, I know I'm not the sharpest tool in the shed, but holy crap, it was a mess. Reading that graphic novel was like trying to decipher a code. And book 1, loved it. Book 2, loved it, but had some issues. Book 3, I was just like...
Book 3 was weird.
What am I reading?
Yeah.
It felt like I was reading a Diary of a Madman. So
it kind of was. You kind of were.
I kind of see why season 3 wasn't...
Season 3 was hard. Like, I was surprised, like, when after reading book 3, which I read way back when they came out on a graphic novel form, I read it, and it was during the show was going on, and I was like, this is going to be very difficult to pull off, because this is a weird book.
Now, book 3 ends with the other group showing up.
Yeah.
And then in the show...
Season 2 ended with the group showing up.
Right. So then
they were involved
3,
in the book 3, which really wasn't, which is what kind of threw it off. Because you're kind of throwing in
a whole new thing. The writers had to come up with
I think originally they figured, we're going to not do another season after season 3. So.
Well, now they get to finish it.
Let's throw this together and do an end around, kind of. But it didn't work out. They didn't hit the landing, so to speak.
Yeah. Well, they got one more try.
Yeah.
So we'll see how that goes. So that's when is the
Yeah.
final season coming out this year?
They have no idea. There's no, it's been renewed, but there's no time frame. But those take forever. Like Netflix takes forever to get shows done. Like it's usually years between net seasons. Like Stranger Things, I think it was like, well, that was because of the pandemic and stuff, but it took forever to get the next season done. That just came out. So I'd say maybe next year.
The show's expected to arrive
Possibly.
on Netflix either late 2023 or early 2024.
Yeah.
So the end of this year, beginning of next.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Yeah.
That gives me time.
Yeah. Time to save your pennies for your Netflix account.
Yeah, I'll save
Or you can ask for a Netflix gift card for Christmas.
I can afford the $15.
I'm just saying. Why pay for it if you can have someone else pay for it for you?
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. Got a birthday coming.
So anyway,
Yes.
wait, I will let you continue. Any more renewals?
That's it. That's all I got. You can move on to your Creed 3 news.
Okay, that was my segue, but obviously that has been segued right off a cliff. So we will go.
Well, didn't you have other news?
Yes,
Okay.
we'll get to it. But this is the news that happened over the weekend.
Okay.
Now, this is not the show where we're going to get into.
We're not getting into the details. We just talk about what.
There's a million
what the
shows
report
on
is.
YouTube. There's a million shows you can listen to. You can go on the
Yes.
news. You can Google it. Yada yada yada. It's an ongoing situation. We don't know everything. Neither does half the people online who are talking about this.
Yes.
Once there is a concrete thing, we will definitely talk about it. But as of now, Jonathan Majors, this has been reported. He was arrested. There are allegations. He has been charged. That happened today or yesterday.
Okay.
Okay. So, with all that being said, and you can go anywhere else to get all that news because I don't feel comfortable talking about it until there's more coming out.
Yeah.
We don't want to get into the weeds about this.
Exactly.
But my question to you, Mark, because this is something I thought about over the weekend.
Okay.
Say in another world where you're not reading your cell phone on camera.
I'm listening to you. I'm not on camera. You're on camera.
All right. Jonathan Majors is let go by the MCU.
Yes.
Okay.
Or by Kevin Feige and Disney and that.
It doesn't. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Okay, we're splitting hairs here. So Jonathan Majors is let go. Now, it is a possibility. The Army already dropped him from his Army commercials.
He was doing
in.
the Marine commercials.
Yeah. Now, say he is let go. And I think, he could be easily replaced.
Yeah.
I don't think they could. The only problem is they already have Loki season 2 in the can.
Yes. I'm assuming other things have been started with him.
Well, as of now, I mean, who knows? But they could definitely change him into another actor could fill in those shoes because it's Kang.
Yes.
He can have different variants.
Yes.
Now, Loki had different variants of like animals, females, old people, young people. There could be Kang could just turn into multiple variants of Kang and maybe portrayed by multiple actors.
Yeah.
So my question to you is, what do you think about that? If in this world we live in that Jonathan Majors is let go, do you think this is something possible they can pull off?
Of course it's possible. That's easy enough to do. You just cast another person.
Well, when I say possible, is it something? Do you think the
it's
fans
feasible.
could get behind?
I mean, it's the world that we're in now. Anyone's replaceable. I mean, you can, unless it's like the main character of a movie that, the movie's named after. And
well, you couldn't replace
already
Dave
filmed the
Matthews
movie.
and Dave Matthews Band.
no, exactly. You can't replace the Flash in the Flash movie because they've already filmed it and everything.
Yes.
I mean, I'm pretty sure they would like to have been able to do that, but
Yes.
they can't.
Okay, we're talking about Jonathan Majors here, not the
But no,
Flash.
I'm just saying. So it's relatively the same kind of scenario.
Yeah,
Different accusations, of course. But I think you easily could. They could easily put in another actor of his caliber that they could easily get.
Who would you like to see?
Well, I mean, of course, obviously, when talking about Creed 3, would be Michael B. Jordan.
Well, he already has a character who's
He was
dead.
Killmonger, but his character's dead. But doesn't mean Kang can't take the physical.
No. Let's get a new actor in. I think that's cheap. That's very cheap.
The guy from Get Out would be good, and Nope. The lead actor from that.
He would be good.
But he's not, like, buff enough.
Well, they're all wearing costumes, and they can get anybody.
No, I'm
buff.
just saying. But I mean, the guys usually bulk up. Like Chris Evans bulked up for Captain America and stuff. Like
so
that.
you said it yourself, though.
Anyone can do it.
Anybody
but it's
can
just,
get buffs.
Here's a shout, like a shout out in the dark, which you won't know the reference to, but I'll explain it to you. I actually just mentioned this to Claire last night. We were watching Monday Night Raw, with the WWE show. There's a wrestler on there. His name is Montez Ford. He is very athletic, and I feel like he has the possibility down the road. He's younger. He's like in his 20s, I think. But he's got the possibility of down the road being a movie actor. Very much in the vein of Batista and The Rock, to like come out of wrestling with a career in movies and acting. He's got like a very emotive face. He's very present on camera. He's got a very well spoken when he talks. He's like very like good at putting out his storylines. So I think he has a chance to break out of being just a wrestler. I think he would be really good. I don't really know any other actors I could think of off the top of my head. Do you have anyone that you've thought of?
Who was the original in Iron Man 1 who got replaced by Don Cheadle?
Oh, Howard.
Yeah.
The guy from, I don't know his first name.
Wouldn't he be awesome if he got redemption and played Kang?
That would be cool. That'd be neat.
Yeah,
That'd be
Howard,
like
I can't think of his...
But he had like, the thing with him was the same, like, he was not easy to work with, was the reasoning behind him being replaced.
He wanted to get paid more.
Yeah, and they weren't willing to pay him more.
So that's very different.
Well, that's what they said at the time. That was
very
the
different from
reasoning
what
behind
Jonathan Majors is going through.
Oh, yeah, of course. Yes, very much so.
Yeah. But
I think that
I think that'd be kind of cool.
Possibility. He's a good possibility.
Wouldn't that be cool? Oh, you know who would be good?
I mean, do you even like...
I got some.
Now, here's like the thing. I know we're throwing out actors who are African American. Does the person replacing him have to be African American?
No. You know who would be fantastic, though? John Davis Washington.
Now, who is John Davis Washington? Tell me what he's been in. I probably don't know him.
John Davis Washington
I'm
is
terrible
the
with
son
people's
of
names and
Denzel
faces.
Washington.
Oh.
He was
or the guy that was in Mando. Was it Dr. Dre's son?
Who was that?
Oh, no, he was in Andor.
I didn't watch Andor.
Yeah. But he played Dr. Dre in the Compton movie.
Oh.
The NWA movie.
He would be good.
Yeah.
Yeah. There you go.
There's tons of people. You could pretty much pick anybody.
I think John Davis Washington would be amazing. He's an amazing actor.
Yeah.
And
I mean, a lot of actors that I could easily think of are already in the MCU, like Idris Elba. But his character's dead. So that's like another. But that's the thing, though. John Boyega would be good.
That'd be
a redemption thing for him.
Right. For all the shit he had to deal with Star Wars.
Yeah.
He would be fantastic.
Yeah, he would be really good.
I think
that's a good one.
That's a good one. Now, I think any of the people we just mentioned could be really good.
Yeah.
I think unfortunately we'll have to wait till next week if we get more information about.
Yeah.
And if there's a good possibility that he could be replaced or something could happen. We have to see how this plays out.
Or they could do the thing that they used to do back in the day where you wait to find out the actual information then let somebody go.
Well, here's the thing.
Just saying.
He was just charged.
Yes. But that's because he was charged doesn't mean he's guilty.
And We
I'm
don't
just
know.
saying, I'm just throwing it out there. Not saying either way. I don't know. I haven't read any of the story or anything. I don't know what's going on.
What I'm telling you is,
But-
yes, there charges
Innocent
have
until proven
been
guilty.
yes, but
So-
charges usually
Yeah. So we're not saying that he should be
mean
replaced.
he's
we're
guilty.
just throwing out
right.
what if options because Marvel has a whole thing called what if. So it's a possibility.
There you go.
Yeah.
Let's move on to more lighthearted news.
Some other news. I don't know
Derek-
if you saw this really quickly. They just had an interview with James Gunn about Guardians.
Yes.
And they rumored runtime for Guardians is 2 hours and 29 minutes.
That's fantastic.
That's perfect. And in response to that, Gunn has said, it's around that long, although that's not yet exact. And I promise not a second is wasted. There's no fat. It was necessary to experience the full arc of every major Guardians character, not only for this film, but for the trilogy. Or should I say, trilogy plus.
Yeah, well, it's a trilogy plus in the sense that their characters have been in other movies.
Yes. Well, through Fans for a Loop, and he clarified it by saying plus included projects like the Holiday Special
Yes.
and Endgame.
Yes.
So this third film in the franchise will close out the story
Yes.
and has set out to tell with these characters. Wrap them up.
Okay, this is the only MCU movie I am super hyped for. It's probably the only MCU project I am super hyped for. And honestly, if I were to never watch another MCU thing after this, I feel like I will be satisfied. Now,
Yeah.
I don't know if this movie's going to be good or not, but I love these characters. I love the last two movies. They're some of my favorite characters. So
Yeah.
I am pumped for this.
Yeah.
I am so hyped for this.
Well, the story goes on and they ask him about, like, you took on the DC stuff. How was it, like, why did you feel so adamant about coming back and saying with Marvel for this before you left to go do DC?
Well, the movie was done before
Well,
that.
I mean, like, why did you, like, come back for the third film kind of
Because
thing?
they're his characters.
Yeah. And he said one of the reasons why I came back to make this movie was because I felt like I needed to tell Rocket's story. He would have been very sad not to complete the trilogy for many reasons, but he just feels very connected to Rocket. He feels like nobody would be able to tell his full story if it wasn't him. To me, Rocket has always been the secret protagonist of the Guardians movies. From the beginning, it has been rooted in who he is as a character. I think he exemplifies a lot of the traits of all of the Guardians, and they made all these traumas, and it brings them together. He just likes that his is more extreme than others.
Yeah. Rocket's one of my favorites.
Yeah.
And seeing the previews brings tears to my eye. I'm
Yes.
like, oh God, is someone dying? What's
So,
going to happen here?
May 5th, Cinco de Guardians is
Yeah.
coming.
Yeah.
And we'll be going to the movie beforehand. And I've been given permission by my wife to go out on our anniversary to hang out with you guys to go see Guardians.
Thank you, Claire.
Yes, she's like, this is one of those exemptions that a wife needs to make sometimes. And I understand.
It's on a work day. What
It's
are
a
you doing?
Thursday.
Yeah, what are you doing on a Thursday?
Which she said, that's the same thing she said. But I said, I just wanted to make sure because I know it's our anniversary day. And I usually take the day off. We both take the day off to spend together. She's like, you're fine. You can go hang with your friends.
Yeah.
You just have to make up for it afterwards with a nice dinner or something. So,
Well, it'll be kind of late.
well, not that day,
Okay, I was about
but
to say.
that weekend or something.
Yeah,
So,
yeah. All right. Well, that's good news. I'm
Yeah.
excited. I'm very excited
yeah.
for this movie.
Another quick news that just got released 29 minutes ago. Did you know Kehu Kwan is going to be in Loki?
I don't want to know.
They just announced it. He's going to be in the movie. He's going to be in the show.
Yes, and Loki season 2. When does that
Yeah.
come out?
Sometime this year. I want to say soon. Not that far away.
Probably the summertime. It's a summer show, right? Probably after Guardians.
I don't know about that. See where they say it here in this article as I scroll.
You could just Google it. It'll take 2 seconds. Because people love watching people Google things.
I'm not Googling it. I'm reading the article.
Loki season 2. Loki season 2.
Summer, maybe? They haven't really given like a date.
Yeah, I guess we don't have a date.
Yeah.
Release date. Summer of 2023. It's a summer.
That's all we got
It's a
so
summer
far.
show.
Yeah.
The first one came out in June, so I have to
Probably
feel-
around that same time frame, I would say.
I feel it's gonna come out in June. All right, let's move on.
Yes.
Daredevil.
Yes.
There's a lot of Daredevil talk.
Born Again.
Born Again. This happens a lot with actors. Vincent D'Onofrio decided to talk.
I'm worried to have a sneeze brewing. So I have a sneeze brewing, so if I sneeze, I apologize ahead of time.
Well, don't sneeze at me.
I'm not going to, but I'm saying if I sneeze while you're talking, I don't feel bad.
All right. So basically, he said that season 2 is all planned out, and that they also confirmed that John Bernthal.
I knew you were going to mess it up.
Is it Bernthal?
Barenthal.
Barenthal. John Barenthal is coming back as the Punisher.
Which we knew about already.
We didn't talk about it on the show, though.
We might have.
And he also,
Vincent D'Onofrio.
he talked about how he wanted to fight Spider-Man.
That's from the comic books.
I understand, but he himself, his character.
Yes.
Which-
as Kingpin, not
Yes.
as Vincent D'Onofrio.
So
Doesn't have any ill will towards Tom Holland. That he just
could
wants to
we
take out.
see Spider-Man in
Cameo?
a cameo in season 1 Daredevil, or in season 2,
No.
or because they've already got the script ready for Spider-Man 4.
Yes.
They're already working on it.
I'm assuming yes.
So
And I think that it's going to...
Spider-Man could show up as a cameo. It would be huge if he showed up in Daredevil season 1.
Yeah. Because he could show up in that, and I think it would be pretty neat for that to happen.
Since Daredevil did show up in a Spider-Man movie.
Yes. And Tom Holland, I think, is going to be the MCU Spider-Man.
There's
And
only
I
one
think
Spider-Man.
that they're going to then spin off Andrew Garfield possibly to be another Spider-Man.
No, they've already confirmed. None of that's happening.
Well, I don't know. The Tom Hardy thing. He could pop up in that.
None of it's happening. The Andrew Garfield's done. Tobey Maguire's not doing. It's going to be only Tom Holland.
Magic can happen, Brian. Magic can happen.
Well, anyway, that's a mess. Who knows? But
Sony can pull off anything.
right now, Tom Holland.
If James Cameron can get another Avatar movie, anything could happen.
You do know that is like now in the top 3 movies of all time.
Doesn't mean it's good
It was good.
for you.
Yes. Avatar 2 was probably better than most movies I've seen so far.
I just enjoy every time I turn on things and someone bashes Avatar. I'm like, now you're my friend. Jon Stewart did it in his show recently.
He still has a show?
Yeah, on Apple Plus.
Oh, no wonder nobody watches it.
It's really good. It's really good. The problem with Jon Stewart, you should check it out.
No, I'm fine.
It's on YouTube too. They do a lot of YouTube stuff.
I can't do political stuff anymore. I'm done. I'm burnt out.
Okay, I'm just saying it's a good show. Doesn't mean you have to no one's asking you to carry a picket sign. Just asking you to watch a TV show.
No, I'm just saying. I honestly, it's nice not to watch political stuff. I
don't either. I just watch John Oliver.
It's all the same stuff. They're preaching to the choir.
Yeah,
What are you gonna do? I'm sure it's great.
screaming in an empty room.
Yep, pretty much. Anyway,
I just hit the microphone with my hand.
anyway,
Not used to this yet.
We've went off the rails here. Anyway, we have all this news coming out for
Yes.
Daredevil. What are your thoughts, Mark? Are you
Coming
excited?
out next year, right?
I don't know. Who knows? Next year, maybe.
It's gonna be like 30 episodes or something.
18,
18.
which is a lot.
It's a lot of episodes.
I feel like when D'Onofrio says this, I feel like they're going to split that in half.
I don't think so. I think it's gonna be 18 weeks.
They might take a break and split it.
I don't think so.
I think so. That's a lot. 18 weeks?
Yeah,
It's kind of unheard of right now for a streaming show.
I think that's what they're gonna do. I think it's just gonna be like this epic saga. I think it's gonna be not just a Daredevil show. I think you're gonna get other people in this show besides Daredevil. Like if Barenthal's coming back as Punisher, that means there's gonna be like a Punisher storyline involved in this.
Yes.
You're gonna get like the side episodes where it's not Daredevil in it at all.
Maybe.
and it's someone else's story going on in that same time frame.
I think a lot of things are going to happen in this season.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I think you're right. I
mean, the one nice thing is hopefully they're not going to go back and redo the intros to these characters again.
No.
So
I think they know.
that's going to be nice.
I think they're just going to continue on.
Yeah.
But they also said this is going to be a slightly different Daredevil than we're used to.
Because we're not going to get the same people that we had in this one, besides Barenthal as Punisher,
Right.
D'Onofrio as Kingpin, and Charlie Cox. Is that his name?
Yes, Charlie Cox.
Okay. I always feel like I'm going to say the guy from...
Froggy, he's done.
I always feel like I'm going to say the guy from Always Sunny is also named Cox. So I feel like I'm always going to mention
Or
his
Dr.
name.
Cox from Scrubs.
Or Dr. Cox. John C. McGinley. Yes, he's going to show up in the show too. But anyway, so like you say, we're not going to get Froggy. We're not going to get Jessica Wool from True Blood, who was also in the Netflix version. I wonder if Rosario Dawson's going to come back as Night Nurse, or if they're going to recast that character.
I bet you she doesn't come back.
Kristen Ritter, Jessica Jones, is that going to...
Nope.
Is she going to appear?
Nope. I mean, but they could.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Luke Cage, I heard, is being recast. That guy could be Kang. The guy who played Luke Cage.
He's an okay actor.
Doesn't mean to be great.
Yeah, you got to have someone with power.
I mean, he's a big dude.
Yeah, but he doesn't really scream King to me.
Cast The Rock. The Rock can do it. He doesn't want to do Black Adam anymore anyways.
Well, I wouldn't put The Rock in anything right now.
Why not?
He's got an ego, that guy.
The Rock says,
The
"Move
Rock-
your role and shut your mouth, Brian."
The Rock was the reason Shazam 2 and Black Adam couldn't meet. Which seems ridiculous.
Because he wanted Henry Cavill.
Yeah, The Rock is ridiculous. He's my least favorite wrestler, actor/wrestler.
There's only two of them, really.
John
Like three.
Cena? No, and Batista is
three.
amazing.
Yeah.
I think out of all of them, Batista is the best.
That movie's
actor.
on Peacock.
Oh, it's good. I
I saw it pop up, and I say it like that now. Peacock.
Yeah, I have Peacock.
Yeah,
I
I
do.
say it like that now.
Peacock.
Let's watch something on the Peacock. I do that with my head and everything. It's like a whole little thing.
Does your wife think you're crazy?
Well, it's better than what Pat McAfee calls it, so
What?
he just calls it the cock.
Mark.
What? That's the name of the
No,
service.
it's not. The cock is not the name of the app. I've never
The
once...
Peacock.
The Peacock.
The Peacock.
There you go.
I don't call it that. Pat McAfee does.
I don't
So
know
I'm
who
referencing someone else's.
I don't know who Pat McAfee is.
I told you who he was earlier.
Oh, I blacked it out. Wasn't listening. He's let's go back in time. He was a wrestler. No, he's a football player.
He was a football player.
And
He
he
actually
retired?
does wrestle too. He does commentate on WWE as well.
All right. It is. I think we've been going on.
Josh is yawning, so we've been going on for a long time.
Yeah.
But he's also going to be tired because he stays up till 3 a.m.
Okay. Let's end the show with our review of Mandalorian episode 4.
4, season 3. Which feels like season 4. But it's really season 3.
Okay. I have a lot of thoughts about this episode. Not good ones.
Well, I think it
I'll
was
let you
more of
hold
a...
on. We'll get into discuss. Let's
Discuss, he says.
let's get
Is that
into
a new
this.
thing?
I want
Discuss with Marc and Bryon.
give me your overall thoughts. I'll give you my overall thoughts. Then we will discuss and give it a rating like we normally do. I know you're excited because we're on TV, but let's bring it back. Pretend we're on Zoom.
I think it was a good episode. It wasn't a great episode.
Okay.
It was a middle episode,
Okay.
which is exactly what it was. Episode 4, a middle episode.
Okay.
This happens every season with Mando. Episodes in the middle, like 4 or 5, are kind of just like floating episodes. Like we had that episode in the first season where he goes on the planet and they have the walker and he fights those random bad guys and then takes his helmet off while he eats his lunch or whatever. Which they kind of harken to this episode again, where everyone goes off and eats in the dark. I don't know how you eat in the dark, but that's a whole other thing. But anyways. But yeah. It was a decent episode. I think it was more a Bo-Katan episode than a Mando episode. And it kind of furthered her story more. And I'm starting to worry that this is the Book of Bo-Katan and not a Mando story.
That's your.
That's
anything
my
else?
well. Until you want to get into the deep discussion of it,
I'll
that's
give
all
you
I
my
got.
initial reaction.
Yes.
Watched it the first time. I watched it twice.
Mm-hmm.
I had to Google who the special Jedi was. I wasn't that like, oh my god, like most people were. We'll talk about that later.
Well, I think it was more
We'll
who
talk
the
about it
actor
later.
was, not the.
Yeah, I understand. I understand.
Yeah.
We'll talk about that later.
Yeah.
I'm just giving you my initial first reactions to this. So I like that scene.
I'd completely forgotten about that part until you just mentioned.
I like that scene. I thought overall, I watched this again for the actual show itself,
Yes.
minus that scene,
Uh-huh.
and I thought it was so dumb. I'm highly.
yeah,
Hold on.
okay.
I'm giving you my
All right,
national.
Yep.
I was highly disappointed by this episode.
Mm-hmm.
For a lot of reasons. Like I said, I watched it twice just to make sure I wasn't
Yeah.
crazy. I love this show.
Yeah.
I love the character of Din and Grogu.
Yeah.
And my takeaway, and then we'll get in discussion. My takeaway of all this is we're literally in the middle of the season. This whole
What's the story?
Yeah, what's the story?
Yes.
We're just floating. We're doing nothing. And this episode should have moved the plot forward. And to me, it just made the Mandalorians look dumb, like not smart. They're supposed to be they're bounty hunters. It just made them look.
Well, I don't think they all
dumb.
are. That's the thing.
It just made them look dumb. But
I
anyway,
think these are just like run of the mill Mandalorians, not like.
these are the Mandalorians.
Well, I know, but I think these aren't like
They're
Boba
horrible.
Fett Mandalorians. These are like just random Mandos that were
Bubba
living
Fett is
on
not
the
a
planet.
Mandalorian, which we know.
Well, I know what I'm saying, but like that's like
I know,
what we
I-
think of Boba Fett as a Mandalorian.
I know.
I don't think the Mandalorians are as
These are the Mandalorians.
no, what I'm saying at all. I don't think they're what we've perceived them to be.
Well, okay. Let's. Okay.
They're a planet that was very factious.
Yeah, they're a cult.
Yes, but the group that Din's in was a one faction.
Yes.
The group that
The
Bo
religious.
was in was a whole different group.
Yes.
There's like 4 or 5 other factions on the planet. It was a lot of factions. There wasn't like a big, huge.
There's only 2 we know of.
There was, but per backgrounds and other stuff that's been out.
There's only 2 I know of.
Yeah.
From the show.
Through Clone Wars, like there's another character that was Mandalorian. She was in a different group.
I get that.
So there's
I get
multiple
that. I get
factions,
that.
and
I
they've
get
talked about it in
But
the show and stuff.
This episode alone, we're talking about this episode without going into canon and all that
Yeah.
stuff. I'm just saying this episode, I can explain to you why I was really disappointed with this episode. Like, okay, let's put the episode aside. Let's talk about the Grogu thing, which
Yes.
I did really like.
Yeah.
When that guy showed up, you're going to laugh at me. I was like, is that the guy from This Is Us?
Yeah. He looks like that guy, yeah.
Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, the actor, yeah.
Case Sterling?
Yes.
Okay.
He would also make a good Kang.
If he wanted to make everyone cry.
Well, not he doesn't. He's done
He's
other
a
stuff
very
besides
dramatic actor.
that. But he's done other stuff. But so is Jonathan Majors. Was a very serious actor. Before, he hasn't really done anything else really. Like he was in the H.P. Lovecraft show. That was about it.
Yeah. Anyway.
So
So
he's not doing anything right now. His show's
that
over.
scene happened. I really liked it as the scene. I had to Google who that was because I was like, "What's the importance
Well,
here?"
I don't think anyone really like unless you know deep canon stuff.
The deep canon is a Star Wars game show for
Yes,
kids. He
yes.
played that character.
Yes.
That was it.
Yeah.
Now, best.
But his character's also been like in books and stuff.
No, that's it.
Hasn't he?
No.
No, is he just in that one thing?
Yes.
So there you go. But that's very Favreau Filoni of them to like grab a small side character from some random thing and give them a backstory that is important to the bigger story of Star Wars.
What's his name?
Ahmed Best. He was
Ahmed
Jar Jar
Best.
Binks.
Yes. Now, as the actor having a redemption for the people that grew up on the prequels and him getting a lot of shit
Yes, for
playing-
Jar Jar Binks.
for doing a job that he
Yes.
was paid to do.
Yes.
I think is awesome.
He just read the lines. He didn't make
didn't
up the
write it.
character.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Him having a redemption in a personal, like, I
Yeah.
think it's fantastic.
Very much in the vein of like Hayden Christensen.
Yes.
You're getting like another chance at Darth Vader.
Right. Yeah. I see nothing wrong with that.
No, totally cool.
It was a cool scene.
I knew him from that, so that's what to me it was cool. I figured this character we'd find out more about down the road.
Right.
I didn't think
I didn't know who
anything.
he was.
I just knew
anything.
he was Ahmed Best and he had played Jar Jar, and I thought that was cool that they brought him back to play himself in a role and not some CG character.
Yeah, he's playing a Jedi.
So very
I don't
much
know
an
the
Andy
name of the
Serkis
Jedi.
kind of thing from Andor.
Yeah. So I'm wondering, because this is now the second flashback. We got the first one last season.
Yes.
Season 4, are we going to get more of that? I hope so.
I think you might get more this season.
Wow, there's a lot more we need this season.
Yeah.
We need to focus on something else.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Because there's a lot of stuff in that flashback that wasn't said, that was like visual, like the ship that he was being saved by was a Nabooian
Yes.
ship.
Which we'll probably get the next flashback.
So I'm assuming, which was kind of a weird nod to Ahmed Best playing Jar Jar Binks, that they're going to possibly Naboo.
Yeah.
So.
But it wouldn't be Natalie Portman.
No, because
she's died.
Well, not yet in that storyline, because it's during the invasion of the Jedi Temple. She's still alive at that point.
Yeah, but she died at the end.
After that.
Yeah,
after the invasion.
But she wasn't a queen anymore either.
No.
At that point.
No.
So, it would be someone else.
Yeah, I'm assuming it'd be Jimmy Smits's character.
Yeah. They could bring him back.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's where they'll end up going with it.
Because we've already seen him.
Yeah, exactly.
So that would be kind of cool.
Yeah.
So I feel like we're going to get more of that in season 4. I don't know if we're going to get more of that and I honestly don't want more of that, because where are we going in this show? Like, I look forward to watching it, but right now I'm just like, what are we doing? What is the plot?
What is the story for the season? It seems very just like meandering.
We can't be halfway in,
like I said,
and not know what we're doing.
It seems to me to be more of a Book of Bo-Katan storyline. Like, it seems to be very focused on her, like refinding her Mandalorianishness.
Oh, I know.
And not anything about Mando.
No,
like he's just there, and he's training Grogu to be a Mando.
It's about Bo wanting to go after
and
the
her
Mythosaurus.
her like finding like her spot as being the leader of Mandalore again.
But she's obsessed with the Mythosaurus.
Well, because that's
right? Is that what it's called?
Whoever controls the Mythosaur rules Mandalore. That's like,
and she saw one.
And she saw one,
and
so
now
she wants to like go back there, and that's why she got the insignia on her arm.
Yeah.
So it's like I feel like there's only 3 episodes left of this season. So
yeah,
tomorrow's episode, because they were filming this on Tuesday, has to have something about what the antagonist of this season is.
Right now,
like,
we
what's
have
the end game of this? Like, what is the big bad that has to be revealed? Because all we've gotten so far is a random space pirate that's a bad guy that we've never heard from since.
Yeah.
And
her
random creatures
place
that
was
have,
bombed.
Her
we
place
don't know
was bombed
who,
by the Empire.
But we don't know who was
or
the
why
one
the Empire is bombing her
right.
planet.
We don't know any of that.
So we don't know what the actual, like...
Then we wasted a whole episode on a doctor, which was... I honestly like that episode.
Who died or has been brain erased.
Okay, I like that episode as a bottle episode, but I was really hoping they would make up for giving us a sidetrack in episode 4. But to me, they disappointed me with episode
like
4.
There's like...
Also, I have...
a lot of loose strings floating around. Like, where are these strings being attached to?
Nothing.
Like, where are they going?
The only thing I can think of is Bo going after the Mythosaurus. That's it.
Well, Bo going after Mythosaur. Somehow those space pirates reappear and go after the Mandalorians.
They're going to have to.
Of some sort or some reason that happens. Somehow that person who brain erased the doctor is connected to
we
something
know
bigger in the Empire.
She's connected to either Moff Gideon
Last
or
Order
what's
situation.
His name? Thrawn,
something in that vein. And then so there's like 3 or 4 possibilities of what the story is.
In episode 4 gave us nothing.
I think it was more of just a way to like get Bo back with the Mandalorians. Like that was the whole point of it.
Okay.
Was to put her now with the Mandalorians. She has a connection to them.
I get that.
Now she's a part of that group.
Let's talk about the episode though. let's talk about. This is where I like Monster of the Week episodes, and if they're done well, I think Mandalorian has shined. Season 1 was fantastic with these episodes. I thought season 2 was excellent with these episodes. I don't know why this episode fell flat for me, but
Well, there's a lot of like
first of all,
weird plot holes in it.
go back to episode 1. They're practicing next to water, and this big thing comes out and tries to eat one of the younglings.
Yes.
So you think they would go to a different place.
Or you would have people on guard.
Yes.
You're on a big open area. You have like a wall behind you.
They could go anywhere.
And a cave. You have people with jetpacks.
Yes.
Why wouldn't some people with jetpack to the top of the ridge to overlook Overwatch?
And to make sure they...
And if anything comes flying out of nowhere, they could warn people down on the ground, like, hey, there's a thing flying towards us. You might want to watch out.
You want to remember the stupidest
Get
line?
the women and children to safety.
The dumbest line in the whole show for me, which was really bothersome. I'm like, who wrote this line? Was the bird comes in, swoops and takes the kid, who was already taken in episode 1. So this is the second time this kid has been taken by
Well, he was
creature.
not taken in the first one. He was just in the water being christened when that thing came out of the water.
But I'm saying he's been now chomped on by...
Almost chomped on.
Okay. Yeah. So the bird comes and takes him.
Yes.
And they go chasing. Nobody thought to take a ship but Bo, who was not even part of this.
Because at first everyone just jetpacks away.
And they all run out of
then
fuel.
all of a sudden they're running out of fuel, and one of the guys, Jon Favreau's Mando.
This happens all the time.
This happens all the time. It keeps flying away. We don't have enough gas in our jetpacks to get to where this is going to.
But he's like, this happens.
Why? Mando's like, my first thing, Mando should have been like, well, why didn't you let me know that before we all just jetpacked away? I could have taken my ship, or taken my ship.
They all could have taken their ships. They all have ships.
Yeah.
But like he says, this happens all the time. So their foundlings just get eaten by birds.
Like kids just get taken all the time.
All the time. Their kids.
But we're gonna make a different point on this one because it's my son. Come to find out.
Okay, come to find out though. This is the other crazy part. Bo goes on her ship. She sees where it goes.
Yes.
She comes, instead of taking action, she comes back, says to them, I know where he is. They all say, well, we can't use our jetpacks because it's going to
fly away.
Eat the kid or something.
Or it'll attack the kid.
The kid is in the bird's stomach overnight.
Yeah.
Because they spend the night.
Yeah.
Then we see the bird regurgitate. That kid was in a bird's belly.
Yeah.
For maybe 24
He'll
hours.
be in therapy for years. He's going to be a lot of therapy to get out of that.
How is that kid not dead?
Well, because it's just birds don't have acid.
They
in
do.
Their stomachs.
Every stomach, that's how stomachs work.
Yeah, it's got like it's not totally in its stomach. It's like holding it in its esophagus kind of thing.
No. It was stupid. I
don't know how birds work. You know how space birds work.
Okay. Then
maybe it has a second stomach that's like a storage stomach.
They go to the cliff and they say, let's not attack in the middle of the night maybe, or let's not do it now.
Let's wait till morning. When it's bright out.
Who cares? There's no agency here.
You know what we'll do? We're gonna now climb up this mountain face.
Yeah.
And you know what? Guy who has a huge weapon on his back.
Why didn't you leave that on their campsite?
Carry that up the side of this cliff face with you.
And then...
Okay, or have that guy on the ground to be like ground support.
Right. Here's the other weird part. They get up to the bird nest and...
There's Mando helmets. A bunch of Mando helmets on the ground. So it's been taking Mandos randomly for a while now.
Here's the other part.
And no one thought to shoot the thing.
They waited over 12 hours to come rescue this kid.
Yeah.
But he got up there and he's just like, I gotta get in. They're like, dude, chill.
He scanned it with his heat sensor thing.
I know.
And saw the heat was there. So he thought it was his son.
You could wait a minute.
You don't have a kid. You don't know what that's like. I bet if John was up there, he would have ran. Tig!
Mark, they waited overnight.
I know. But I'm saying.
They waited overnight.
I don't know.
They
Star
had
Wars.
no agency.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Maybe they know how the bird works. They know the bird, they have a couple days. They know the bird doesn't eat all the time. He figures, a couple days. Maybe he's going to save and put it in a Ziploc bag.
Maybe.
Keep him fresh.
He was in its belly overnight.
Put him in some Tupperware.
I don't know. It was very poorly written. Just was weird. You have to admit, it was a weird episode.
It was a weird episode. But they have those randomly in each season.
But they don't.
Like I said, they had that episode where he went and fought the random people on that planet.
That episode was awesome.
They had the walker.
That
Because they had a
episode-
walker. If they didn't have the walker, it'd be like, what's the point of this?
No, that episode was awesome. I think their standalone episodes have always been good. They're some
Yeah.
of my favorite. I think Mando has always shined on those. You have a one-off episode, but it still moves a plot forward. We were learning who Din and Grogu were,
Yeah.
and them helping other people. This, it would have worked
Well, I think it was
if
the.
they had agency to get
I
that
think
kid.
it was the
didn't have any
story
agency.
was
It was lame.
not a great story, but I think it was more of what the end game of the story was. The story was Bo and the Mandalorians coming together. I think that's what it was about.
It was Bo.
It was about the Mandalorians trusting Bo.
I guess, but
Because at the beginning of it, they were like, when he was like challenging, when Grogu was challenging the kid, they were kind of like, oh, well, why are we, he doesn't have any weapons or anything. Is he too young?
He did his
that
little
whole
flip.
thing. Yeah.
yeah.
And then I think it was more of Grogu finding out more of his backstory
I
coming
get
out.
that, but it
and
could
him
have
becoming
been
more attached to the
written
Mandalorians.
a little bit better.
And then I think the whole thing with Bo was like a way to get her to be ingrained with the Mandos.
But it also made the Mandalorians look
and
dumb.
now she kind of has like an army of Mandos on her side.
Also, I'll tell you this: I
don't think
my
these are the
Din and
top tier
Grogu.
Mandalorians either. I think these are
these
like
are the this is the cult. These are the Mandalorians we met in season 1.
I know, but I don't think they're still not the top tier Mandalorians. I think these are like
This is it. This is all the Mandalorians.
these are the ones that survived. The ones that were fighting in the front lines aren't around anymore because they all got killed by the Empire.
Yeah, but all I'm saying is it could have been done better.
Yeah.
Some of the lines were dumb. I just
Yeah.
wish there was more agency of getting the kid. It could have worked. It just was weird. It was a
But
weird
we've been this
episode.
place before.
Not with Mando.
Yeah.
In my opinion.
I think we've been there a couple times in Mando. I think you just sugarcoat it because it's Mando.
But honestly,
think
I could go back and
But one episode shouldn't it's not going to ruin the whole thing. But I'm saying I think if season 5
not
or
saying
episode
that.
5 this week gives us all the answers we want, we'll be right back in again and everyone will be fine and you forget about it.
here
And you just chalk it up to it being a bad episode.
here's what I'm saying.
They all can't be home runs.
Okay, here's what I'm saying, Mark. Do I love The Mandalorian? Yes. Is it my favorite new Star Wars stuff? Yes. This doesn't diminish my love for Mando, but in my opinion, when you're only getting 8 episodes or 9 episodes, you need to push. First of all, we don't know where we're going. You have to move the plot forward, and we're 4th episode in, and we get that.
Well, I think this is
My
the first...
standards are higher. Mando standards are
Yes,
higher.
I think that's their thing, too. I think this is the first Mando episode that I can remember where they don't just do the thing. It was kind of just a meandering episode. There was no, plot advancement.
Nothing.
Besides the bow.
Also-
innuendo, her getting involved with the Mandos more.
I want more Din and Grogu. I want less of this other stuff. And I kind of feel like it is turning into the Bo Katan
Well, I
show.
think that this is also, I'm going to go back to it again, and you're going to be like, oh, no, it doesn't matter. That this season had to be rewritten
it didn't
at
have
some
to be.
point. It had to be they'd planned on Cara Dune stuff happening this season. She was going to be involved in this season more, a lot more, I think.
Yeah, no, because
And there was a whole thing of them fleshing out a whole bigger universe
that's no
for
excuse.
Mando.
We don't know that for sure. You're just making that up.
No, that was all talked about after the last season of Mando, that they were going to everyone was getting their own show off of this.
Yeah, but
Cara Dune was going to get her own show.
She made one appearance
branched
last
off.
season.
Yeah,
That
but
was
she was
it.
going to get her own show off of this season.
Her character wasn't that.
But there was going to be a lot of stuff, I think, involved that I think that they had to change.
I disagree with you because season 2 ends. It's picked up in Book of Boba Fett, and then Book of Boba Fett continues the Mandalorian storyline. So we're coming into
Book of Boba Fett is basically Mando season 3,
yes. Now we're coming into season 3 of Mandalorian,
which is really season 4.
and they set up the whole Darksaber thing. That felt
It's been no talk of it whatsoever.
I know.
That's my other thing.
That
There's been
was
no talk about this Darksaber since the little bit in the second episode.
it was supposed to be a big thing,
where he went down into the mines of Mandalore.
right?
Mandalore.
So nobody cares about the
jump into
Darksaber
the
at all
water.
anymore.
But it's there's no talk about it at all. There's only the little thing where Bo picks up and she's able to use it way better than Mando can.
Right.
But that's been the last we've heard about it.
Which
But
is a
there's been
shame, because
no,
I thought that was going to be a big moving point for the show.
I think it still could be. I think this is just a bad episode. I think we just got to chalk this up to a bad episode.
It was. It was.
It's kind of you think about it, we're in season 3, episode 4, and this is probably the worst episode of Mando.
It was. It was the worst.
It's a pretty good average.
Listen, Mark, I'm not shitting on the show as a whole.
No, I know.
I'm just saying my standards for the show are high.
Okay.
Do you see what I'm saying?
So going off of that, let's rate the episode. What's your score for Mando season 3, episode 4?
5 out of 10.
Wow.
It's a 5 out of 10 for me.
Wow, that's a low score.
It's an average. It's middle of the road. 5 is middle of the road. I give it a 5 because I really liked the Grogu stuff.
Yeah. My battery just died on my laptop.
Okay. I liked the Grogu stuff. I liked the...
The show's over. No, I was kidding.
I will say positive things about this episode.
Okay.
I'll say the episode looked good.
Okay.
I thought Carl Weathers did a fantastic job directing it.
Yes.
I thought...
Speaking of Creed.
Yeah. I thought the episode... I still think Mandalorian looks better than most MCU shows.
Mm-hmm.
I think it looks it looks really good. They always do a fantastic job making a show look.
It's okay
fantastic.
to say it was a bad episode. You don't have to polish it.
No, I'm giving you
sound
positive
better. Okay.
stuff. Because I don't want to shit on it totally. I'm giving you positive things.
But
I give it a 5 because I think the writing was very subpar for The Mandalorian. My standards for Mandalorian are high.
yeah,
And I honestly loved season 1. We could go back in season 2, and I love season 2 and 1. And Book of Boba Fett, it shined when Mandalorian showed up.
in your opinion.
This, in my opinion, in this season, the reason I give it a 5 is because all the reasons we said before.
Yeah.
We're not moving forward. I don't know what I should be looking forward to. I thought the writing was very weak in this episode. This episode could have been done, Monster of the Week,
Yeah.
with better writing.
Yeah.
There's no sense of urgency.
Yeah.
It was sort of like, oh, the kid got taken by a bird. Let's sit around for the next day. Like,
Well, I got a plan. They're very planning people.
it was horrible. It just made the Mandalorians look weak, in my opinion.
I think they are.
But they're not supposed to be.
I think you have a weird interpretation of
They
who the
have
Mandalorians
never
are.
looked weak on the show.
But like you said, the Mandalorian references we have are Boba Fett, not a Mandalorian.
I don't count him as Mandalorian. So
His dad was a Mandalorian.
No, his dad was not a Mandalorian. Jango Fett was not a Mandalorian.
Are you sure?
Pretty positive.
He has insignia of the Mandalorians on his suit, so
Okay.
that's a whole other thing.
The
We'll talk about
Mandalorians in
this
season 1 kicked ass.
Yes.
The Mandalorians in season 2 kicked ass.
Yes.
We know Din can kick ass.
Yes.
This episode, the only person that kicked ass was Bo.
Yeah.
And the Mandalorians flew their jetpack, ran out of fuel, and just went, well, this happens all the time.
Oh, well.
Oh, well. And also,
Tough luck for that guy.
why did the Mandalorians go, well, you know what? This is a bad area of the planet. Why don't we go somewhere else?
Well, because there's probably nowhere else to go. They're
It's
probably
a huge,
just...
and they'll have ships. Why don't they all get in the ships?
Maybe
and go
their
after the
ships are out of
bird?
gas. Who knows? Maybe they're using the gas to chase after birds and they're running out of gas.
All I would say it was a bad episode.
Yeah, it was just a tough
So what do you give it?
I will agree with you. I will say I'm not as harsh as you on this one. Because I do think that there are some things that were set up in this a little bit. Not like Mando stuff, but
Yeah, I agree.
other
with that.
characters
I
were
agree,
fleshed out.
yeah.
So I will give it a 6 out of 10.
Okay, so you're very close to me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not great, but it's not the worst episode of television I've ever seen in my life.
I think like I said, I think the highlight of the episode was...
You have higher expectations of Mando. That's all.
Yes,
Yeah.
I do.
Yeah. You hold it to a higher standard than everything else.
I'm actually getting more and more... Like, as the weeks progress, I'm getting more disappointed because I want to know what we're doing.
Yeah.
Storytelling.
Yeah.
Episode 1 should bring in the audience to care what's going to happen moving forward.
I think
This season hasn't done that
I
yet.
have hopes that we're being set up for a big ending. Like Not like
I hope so.
Luke Skywalker type.
No, I
reveal.
think Bo was going to ride the Mythosaurus.
But I think there's going to be some kind of like big, like the next group of episodes are going to be like a big situation of some sort. Like we're going to get, because they have a very, like it's starting to turn into the Star Wars storytelling is 3-episode arcs. Like Andor was 3-episode arcs.
Yeah, but this has no arc so far.
That's what I'm saying. So I feel like they're like, there's going to be something coming.
I hope so.
Next episode. If it's not, then it's going to be serious issues.
Because we have 3 episodes left, right? It's an 8 episode?
I think it's 8 episodes. I'm pretty sure it's 9 episodes.
So,
I want to say 8.
Listen, do I still love Mando? Yes. Do I look forward to it every week? Yes. I love Din and Grogu.
Can shows have a bad season? Yes.
Yes.
Is this so far the worst one of the 3?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Listen, I think you could still love something and have a bad season. I will compare it yet again to Season 3 of Mythic Quest. Season 3 of Mythic Quest, while it was fun to be those characters, it didn't really
Didn't go anywhere.
It didn't move anything.
No.
It gave us some great episodes.
Just happened.
It just happened. They set it up for Season 4.
Yeah.
So Season 3 was a setting up, but it felt like in the middle of that season, I was like, what is the big story here?
Which is why I worry this is what this season is of Mando.
There is no big story.
The setup for other people's stuff. Like this is a season to set up Ahsoka's show, to set up a bigger story, like the big bad of what's going to be coming.
It could be.
And I worry that's what we're heading towards. It's not going to be any, like, we're not going to get any big resolutions, anything. It's all going to be a lot of build up to stay tuned for Ahsoka to see what happens with Mando and this adventure.
And I think expectations, because we had to watch Book of Boba Fett to actually see how the continuation of Din and Grogu went.
Yeah.
I think that's basically saying to the audience, well, you know what? You're going to have to watch all these shows in this world to really get the overall stories.
Exactly. I think that's where we're heading.
I think that's really what it comes down to. I don't know if it's a good thing or a bad thing right now.
We'll find out.
And
you can find out with us by watching the show. So with that, Brian, it's been a show.
It has. This is our first one.
Our first one together, back together again. Look at us. Look at us on the TV screen. We're fancy.
Yeah, I know.
The graphic in the background. It looks so professional.
This is cool.
Yeah.
This is cool.
Yeah.
I know.
This isn't going to be like every week kind of thing, but we're going to try to start doing it more often.
Well, if we have an off week, we'll just use Zoom.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
But I would like if we could do this as much as possible.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we got to make sure we have help if our help's available. I don't want to just volunteer him to be here every time we do a show kind of thing.
That's true.
Yeah. So we got to figure that out. There's stuff to be figured out. We're going to flesh it out more. We'll get a schedule put together.
Yeah.
But yeah, so stay tuned. We're going to hopefully do more of these. And thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. And as always, as we end every show, I'll do it in person now. Be safe.
Wait. Go to your camera.
Do my camera?
Go to Jake, go to his camera.
Go to my camera. All right.
And then hold on. This is a rehearsal. Everyone's going to see it. Mark's going to say his thing, and then Josh, you're going to cut to me after Mark says his thing, and I'll say my thing.
Just like that. There you go.
Yeah. Ready?
Wow. All right. And as always, be safe. Be well. Be kind.
Rewind.
Bye, everybody.
Bye, everybody.
See ya. Thanks for coming.
That was
Thanks
perfect.
for watching. We did it.
Whoa.
Woo, look at us. Fancy studio.